Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on. We're, really starting our first, our initial launch of just introducing ourselves as a middle school to everyone, all the parents, to that are parents of KIPP Amp Elementary. We obviously have a different staff. I am the new principal for many of you guys whose children will be coming in the fall. My name is Mr. Wilshire. If you have not met him already, this is Mr. Bravo that's online, as well as our Director of Operations. Online, we also have our Assistant Principal, Ms. James, as well as our ELA Dean, Ms. Cross. And so we are here just to reintroduce KIPP Amp Middle School to many of you all, answer your questions. Some of you guys were able to attend early this morning, so please bear with me as I share, obviously, the same slides. But the objection of this afternoon is to just give you guys the opportunity to ask questions that you have not been able to do thus far, and just ease your comfort with the transition from elementary into middle school. We have an amazing school, an amazing program, and I'm just really excited just to share what that looks like, what it is to many of you. And so, as I said, I'm going to go through some slides, with you all. And we're going to just open the floor, at different points for any questions. But I want to make sure that I get through as much information as possible. So if you did have a question that I was able to answer in my slides, that would prevent you from needing to answer that question, ask that particular question. And so, just a quick little look at our agenda for today. Just getting to know myself. The mission, vision, and priorities of our school, KIPP Amp Middle School, going through the academic and extracurricular activities. Then I want to talk to you guys about how we build a positive school culture, and then we're going to close out with some questions. And so first, I want to start off, families, with who I am. As I said, I want to reintroduce myself. I know many of you, but many of you have not formally been able to introduce myself to. And so my name is Mr. Wilshire. Again, I'm the principal of KIPP Amp Middle School. And I've been here for, it's my 10th year here. And so one of the longest serving, folks here in KIPP Amp right now, whether that's elementary as well as middle school. So I've seen so many different people, come through here, so many different families, so many different kids. Even one of my students that I've taught in my first year has come back to work for me as well. And so it's a beautiful cycle in terms of family that we have here. And so just as I get started with that, I just wanted to share a few photos just to familiarize myself with you all. I started here, as I said, 10 years ago as a science teacher. And you see here, this was my classroom 10 years ago. This is before kids and, everything else. And so, this is our students throughout the years, the robotics. We took kids on all kind of trips. You see here, we took our 8th graders here to LA. They're on a set of friends just to give them just an amazing experience here. And that was just me through the years here at KIPP Amp Middle School. And if you see here as well, Miss Ayala is on here also. She's our math dean. And so our leadership team is here. We do amazing work here at this school. And it's, really supported by our amazing leadership team. And so just for you guys to just see here, Ms. Ayala is our math dean. Ms. James is our assistant principal. She oversees science, social studies, as well as, our culture, our deans of culture. We have Ms. Cross, who's our ELA dean. Mr. Bravo is our director of operations. And Ms. Charles, many folks who were here earlier today during the breakfast, they were able to meet Ms. Charles, who's our director of operations. I'm sorry, who's our director of student services. And so just giving you guys just a sense of our story here. As I said, I like to start everything off with our KIPP Amp vision. Our vision is to create and maintain a positive and productive learning environment that focuses on students' academic and social emotional growth, supporting them to become well-rounded, confident, and responsible individuals who succeed in life. And if you guys can see here, these are our 3 priorities for the school year that help fulfill our vision. And so you'll notice that here. And so I just want to talk to you guys about some of our, academic, results and how we operate here as a school. And, it really starts with, I don't like just telling stories. I want the numbers to show the truth. And so, I like to say, our kids throughout the years, we play the long game here at KIPP Middle School. And we're really focused on ensuring that our kids leave us ready for high school. That is our number one goal. And one of the main things that we do is we make sure that, our goal is to get our kids in fifth grade, keep them here, keep over 90% of our kids as we have done, and just really work with them over the years and build them up to being the best versions of themselves. And so our current eighth graders, I want to just show you guys, just bear with me as I talk to you all about the numbers. And so our current eighth graders, when they were here in fifth grade, they just came out of COVID. They were struggling so much, when it came to literacy skills. And so, the end of the year state exams, our fifth graders, in terms of their ELA state exams, they only scored a 34%. And, I tell people all the time, that is not what we stand for. And it was not what, KIPP AMP is able to do. But we did not, like other charter schools or other schools, we did not, say, hey, we're going to switch out our kids for other kids. We don't believe that these kids, we can work with these kids. We took our kids where they were. We understood they were coming out of COVID. And, we wanted to work with them and really build them up to be the best versions of themselves. And so even though it was a struggle for them, our current eighth graders, when they were in fifth grade, they only scored 34%. Most families would say, hey, that's a failing school. I don't want my kid here. But what we did was we stood strong with our plan, and we really understood how to work with these students. And by the end of sixth grade, these same students were no longer at 34%. They moved up to 55% in terms of literacy proficiency. And so we obviously did not say that 55% was enough, but we understood that we played the long game here. And so we worked with our students and we made sure that we built them up as much as possible. And at the end of seventh grade, they were over 70% proficiency in ELA. And so these are our kids who started off at 34%. And so we built them up, we worked with them, we worked with our families, and we ensured that we got the best out of them. And currently, our current eighth graders are expected to finish off this year at over 80% proficiency in literacy. And we really truly believe in what we do. We work with our kids. We focus in on meeting them where they are and building them up to be the best versions of themselves. And I want to really plug in our ELA dean, Ms. Cross, to just talk about what we do within our literacy ELA program to help support our students. Ms. Cross.
Hi, good evening, families. We're doing quite a few things in ELA just to make sure that we get students on reading level. Like Mr. Wilshire said before, there is a huge literacy gap, especially after the pandemic. And so we've implemented a program called the Lavinia program, where students are practicing close reading daily. And this is a specific group of students that's almost on level. And so they've been doing this since August of this year, and they've been practicing using multiple short passages every single day just to strengthen their reading skills. We also have a Millionaires program, and they're 6-week cycles. There's 6 cycles per year. And each student gets a word goal, an individual word goal. And they are supposed to be reading at home as well as in school. And these are independent reading books. And they're incentivized as well in order to read so that they are meeting their goal. By the end of the year, they should reach 1 million words. And they're celebrated with a day off called Millionaire's Day Off. And then we take them to the park. We go to Barnes and Nobles. They buy books as well. Also, in their core ELA classes, teachers are having small group instruction, which means that students who don't have accommodations but do need the extra help are getting that tailored help so that they can get to where they need to be by the end of the year.
Thank you for that, Ms. Cross. And, if you look at these numbers, families over time, we're talking about students who start off at 34% proficiency in ELA and then leaving us over 80%. And so this is proof, not through a story that I'm telling, but the numbers that we are able to grow our kids. And so that is ELA. And, our same kids for our current eighth graders, when they came in fifth grade, for math, they scored a 29% proficiency level. And so, as I said, it's not what we like, it's not what we wanted, but we understood how to build our kids up over time and how to grow them. And so, as I told you before, we play the long game here, and we believe in our kids, and we work with them where they are, and we meet them and we try to push them to be the best versions of themselves. So after fifth grade, our kids at the end of sixth grade, after working with them, they jumped almost 30% to get to 57% proficiency. At the end of seventh grade, our current eighth graders today, they were over 78%. And I've said this to my some families earlier today. We are the only KIPP middle school that has kids take algebra in seventh grade. Certain kids who we have designated who are strong, math students, and we believe that they're ready for a ninth grade level course in seventh grade. And so this really, is an opportunity. As I said, we tailor our approach for kids who are ready for certain things. And so by the end of eighth grade, our current eighth graders, they're going to be taking algebra, which is a ninth grade level course. And we are projected to have over an 85% passing rate for a ninth grade level course. And certain kids will be taking geometry, which is a 10th grade level course. And so, our math dean is on here, Miss Ayala, and I would love for her to just talk about the math experience at our school and what we try to do to ensure that our kids are growing within math at KIPP Middle. Ms. Ayala?
Hi, families. So our math program has really come a long way as we've worked through the years. And so we really take a full hands-on approach with our math program and try to meet kids where they're at. So throughout the school year, students are taking diagnostics on iReady. You guys might be familiar with that. And parents are informed. We love to be super transparent with our parents. Parents are informed. These are the skills that your students can do. These are the skills that your students need to work on. But we know that this is a team effort. And so we also reach out to parents to let them know how we're going to support their students to actually meet those goals. And so we do a variety of things in math. One is intervention. So for intervention, we service at least about 50 different kids per week. So these students have extra time with learning specialists to make sure that one, if it's in their IEP, they're getting their services for math. But two, even if they don't have an IEP, we want to make sure that if they're behind grade level, we're giving them an additional math class every day. We also newly introduced this year a math test prep block. And so we didn't want to wait until the state test to come around and really make sure that students were building on the skills that they would need to pass this test. And so all year, students who are just right about grade level or right below have been receiving weekly support from their math teachers on test prep materials. Like Mr. Wilshire said, we also have an amazing algebra program. Not all schools offer this. So every student in our building has the opportunity to leave KIPP with a high school course credit, which can lead to them actually graduating early from high school or even taking college level AP classes as they leave high school. And so this is an amazing program. We also make sure, I know people have different feelings about math, but we make sure that math is fun. And so we make sure that in class, yes, we are all about rigor, but there's also joy there. And so we have small groups, we have weekly celebrations. Students also have iReady lessons where we celebrate if they've met their goals. And we also have a yearly competition with all the other KIPP schools in New York City. And we are the reigning champs of that math competition as well. And so we really are excited about math at this program. And I'm excited to be working with you guys next year.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ayala. And so, I know that, what's also important to you families is, the end game here. If you choose to come to KIPP Middle School, what does the end game look like? The end game for us is making sure your child is ready for high school, but also gets into the best high school possible that they're able to get into. And so this past school year, this school year, currently right now, our current eighth graders, we had acceptances into many of the specialized high schools. If you guys are not familiar, these are some of the top schools in New York City. And we were able to get 2 kids accepted into Stuyvesant. 4 kids were accepted into Brooklyn Tech. One of them being my child, who's a current 8th grader right now. 3 students were accepted in LaGuardia. And we had kids accepted into other tested schools, such as Frank Sinatra, Medgar Evers, Bard, and 3 students were able to actually get into private schools where they got full ride scholarships. And so if you're interested in getting your child accepted into certain programs, such as Prep for Prep, TEAC, a better chance. These are, these are prep programs to help students, within our communities, within the inner city, get into private schools on a full ride scholarship. And so we are able to have connections with them, and we get our kids into these programs every single year, multiple kids, and it's because of the system that we have to help support them. And so I would like Mr. Bravo just to really talk a little bit about that, our system to help support kids get into some of these Prep for Prep programs and private programs to help them get full ride scholarships to some of our elite private schools in New York City. Mr. Bravo.
Hi families. Aside from being the director of operations, I do work in regards to these special programs. So Prep for Prep, TEAC, and A Better Chance. And a lot of the work starts in 5th grade, which is why it's such a crucial and important year. And so the way that we've set this up is so that we nominate 10 to 15 kids each year for each one of those programs. And not only do we nominate them, but we also have a collective team that supports the students along the application. And so we make sure that we set them up for the interviews, support with the application process. And so, we've been fortunate enough to build great relationships with certain directors in these programs. And we've gotten to see a lot of students get into these programs. But again, a lot of it does start in 5th grade. Yeah.
Thank you for that. And families, this is really just giving you guys all the information for you to be prepared for you to have for your child to have the best experience here at our middle school, and really just giving them all the opportunities that we have to offer. And one of the things I will tell you all that you want to take advantage of is Summer Boost. This is a program that we have here at KIPP, KIPP. We really fought for them to bring this here last year, and we are one of 3 sites that has this at our school. Actually, we're the only site in KIPP NYC that has it located on our specific campus and only service our kids on our campus. And so it's a great opportunity for your kids to get a transition, a smoother transition, a longer transition into middle school. If they're able to come into our Summer Boost program, they get to work with some of our teachers that they're going to have in the next upcoming school year. And so it's an amazing opportunity, really just to push and work with them. And so that's, some of the highlights for that. As I said, it's a free program. Many of you guys probably did it last year with your kids. Our middle school, it's the difference is we just have a different schedule, where we are focused on in making sure that your kids are getting a mixture of math, ELA, enrichment. And I will tell you, the prepared food from our central kitchen, from the city, our kids love it. This is not school lunch that they get. It's actually lunch that's prepared by caterers from our central kitchen. So they get breakfast, lunch, as well as snack. And then we also believe in balance. And so your kids actually get a trip every Friday, and they get an opportunity just to learn over the summer in advance. So many of our kids actually lose and, have a summer slide academically. And we want to really make sure that that doesn't happen with your kids. And so it's an opportunity within our community that we should really just take advantage of. And it just shows you the before and after, and which shows our kids' growth over time. And so if you look at the orange, you'll see that, for math, the goal is, the kids scored 50% for efficiency, but they grow over time. This is just an example of, kids growing over time. And so that is the goal over the summertime, just to really push them, get them a well-rounded experience, but help them grow and get comfortable, within our space of middle school. And so we all know that middle school is a little bit different. And so I know families, it's a little bit harder for you to, some of us to accept the change that happens in middle school. Even for some of our kids, it's an adjustment period. They are not, this is an example of our schedule. They are not going to be within one class, for the whole day, for the majority of the day. Our kids have departments in middle school. And so each class is they're gonna have 4 different core classes that they're gonna go to over the course of the day. Students will also have intervention during the day, and they'll have enrichment. And so I want to explain to you a little bit about intervention. And so intervention is a space where it's going to be 60 minutes a day in which students are able to get support in math, in ELA during that period of time. And they also have the opportunity to have guided reading, small group, if your child needs it. We know that every kid is coming to us at a different level. Every kid is coming to us at a different need. And so we really tailor their education, our approach to what their needs are. And so that's where we have, we have a robust intervention plan to help support your kids. And as I said, well-roundedness matters. And so every single day, they actually get a chance to have enrichment. And so enrichment, kids get a choice of, 5 out of 5 different enrichments. And it's art, theater, music, dance, and phys ed. And so they stay within those programs over the course of the year to really develop a talent, develop a skill, really, create, a well-rounded, skill level and something else. We don't believe in just giving them academics only. We want them to have a well-rounded experience to get the most out of your child, to keep your kids happy during the day. And so this is also a situation where, here, me being a parent, here at the school, I understand, full well how some families can get really frustrated when, this is certain families can get frustrated, just like I was at times where I'm looking at my child's report card and I'm saying, man, he got all 80s, but I know he could be a 90 student. Or, he did not do as well as he could have done. And, what I thought of, what we thought of as a team was, how can we actually, try to get families to be advocates from home, for us to work together to create this village before they actually, get this progress report or this report card, and it's like too late, right? The damage is already done in terms of your child not doing well, and, really having a grade that you're just not happy with. And so what we tried to do is at the beginning now of this semester, we tried the trimester. We have family workshops, academic workshops, where we bring families in. We reintroduce them to teachers. We actually reintroduce them to the focus skill, the curriculum. We actually have parents work on the skill itself, and we let families get an understanding of what their child is learning. We have families transitioning to different classes to get a simulation of what their child's experience is throughout the day. And as I said, our parents work on the skill that their children is working on, their child is working on. Because we know even back in the day when we had even math looks different nowadays versus math, today. And so just being able to have a better understanding of how your child is being taught, it's really a positive approach to being an advocate from home and holding your child accountable to what the teachers are expecting of them. And so that's our academics. We also want to make sure that we have you guys understand that we have an amazing after-school program, that offers all of these things and more: dance, cheerleading, basketball, volleyball, football, band, robotics, art. There's so many things that are going on in our after-school program. Many of you guys probably know Mr. Hayden, who works in our elementary. He also works in our after-school program with theater as well. And so this is an ability to get, as I said, the well-rounded experience out of your kids. We don't believe in just academics to get the best out of kids. We actually believe in giving them a well-rounded extracurricular experience. And so with that being said, we also have amazing opportunities where we hold our kids accountable too, because we know what we do for our kids. We pride ourselves on doing more than many schools do across New York City to support our kids, to create a positive culture within our building. And it is something that we truly believe in terms of giving a well-rounded experience. And it starts with really holding our kids accountable to communication through paychecks and through our monthly trips. And I'm gonna allow our assistant principal, Ms. James, to just jump on to talk a little bit about our student culture and how we actually create a positive culture at our school. Ms. James?
Good evening, families. So I really think when we think specifically about our culture system, it really revolves around our paycheck system. And so students daily can earn credits and debits. And these credits that they can earn for positive things. So whether it's academically or behaviorally, so sometimes they earn credits for gratitude, they can earn credits for giving effort, they earn credits for the work that they produce in their classes. And then when they are not meeting expectations, if they are finding things a little bit challenging, they will receive debits. Ultimately, it's also our primary mode of communication. So as a family, you can check the paycheck on a daily basis and know what is happening with your student in class, whether they had a good day, whether they had a challenging day. And from there, reach out and really get to know more about what's happening on a day-to-day basis. But I think the thing that the kids really love about the paycheck system is that it allows them to earn money. So when they earn credits, they earn dollars on their paychecks. And they have to earn around $250 dollars a month, but the money that they earn works towards our monthly incentives. And so this is where we really bring in the positive piece. It's a way to motivate students to meet expectations and to really shine and be kind to each other, but also, do their work. And so some of the incentives that we do at the end of each month are bowling. We have Area 51. We've taken them to we take them skating, Coney Island, and so this is a monthly thing. They really, really get excited about it, and they really do, for the most part, work really hard to be able to earn it so that they can be with their peers, their teammates, and their teachers.
You want to talk about this a little bit more, Ms. James, as well?
Yeah, I can. And so we also really try to have restorative practices within our space. We want to prevent students from dealing with issues like bullying and just teach them how to treat each other and be kind to each other and work through problems. And so in the mornings, during our homeroom time, we have something called proactive circles. And during this time, students sit in a circle and it's guided and facilitated by a teacher, but they have the opportunity, for example, on Mondays to set goals for the week, think about, what they did well the previous week or where they needed to do better, and then set that goal. And then throughout the week, they engage in sending each other shine or shout outs to their teammates. They do some problem solving, which is the day that they really enjoy because they like to talk about their problems and help each other out. And then at the end of the week, they get to reflect on their goal and think about, what they can do in the upcoming week to do better. But it's just really an opportunity for them to build relationships with their peers that are positive and relationships with their homeroom teachers that are positive as well.
And I want to really just say, families, this kind of structure and intent, culture is necessary because there's a shift. And I know that, speaking to, as a parent that has a child in elementary, as well as a child in middle school, they change. They really do. They're exposed to so much more as they get a little bit older. They have a little bit more more of a social life with friends. And, it is important to create a positive experience because they are exposed to so many other things outside of our school. And we want to cultivate leaders of tomorrow. And, one of the things we have to do is, just create a positive, restorative, productive culture of learning as well as socializing within our kids. Because as I said, they're exposed to so much outside of our control. But we try to do as much as possible to create a positive, constructive learning space and social space for them to develop. And so it's just talking about here on this next slide, some of the things that we also do. We have a ton of clubs in our school because we want to make sure that every kid feels that they have a space. They have a space in their school where they feel seen, they feel accepted, they feel heard. And so we have so many different opportunities for that. We have a boys group, we have a girls group, we have the wrestling club, we have student council. We have so many different things that are going on, to give our kids an outlet. And so if your kid, your child, your student wants to have an outlet to be able to get the most out of this experience in KIPP and middle school, listen, really push them to join one of our clubs because it allows them to have productive friendships and really do something to help make our school a better place. And it doesn't just fall on our kids, it falls on our families too. We need you all here. We need you all involved. And so we try to do different things with families to get, you guys into our school to create a positive working, work relationship with teachers, staff, and families. And so come out to our movie night, come out to our game night, come out to our Thanksgiving potluck, our art and jazz gallery nights. We also give our kids gifts for Christmas. It is a KIPP middle school tradition that we make sure that every kid gets a gift for Christmas. No matter what their circumstance is, we want to see a smile on our kids' faces. And, that culture, is really bred by support from our families and making sure that we're working together to give your child a positive experience here. And so with that being said, we talked about we talked about our academics. We talked about what we do on a monthly basis, the trips, and holding our, making sure we're working hard, but also playing hard on a monthly basis with our monthly trips. We talked about what we do to create a positive, social structure at our school. And we also have end of the year trips. We want kids to look forward to something at the end of the year that they're working and building themselves up towards. And so our fifth graders, they go to a American Dream Mall, Nickelodeon, themed theme park. They go to that every year. And then we fellowship with a big lunch afterwards. We take them, sixth graders, to Philadelphia, where they go to the museum. They, obviously when you go to Philly, you gotta have a Philly cheesesteak, and then we do a laser tag. And we go to Washington for seventh grade, where they go to the African American History Museum of Culture, and then they do laser tag, and then we eat together as a team. And then for our eighth graders, it's important that they get the most, right? Because they're about to leave us. We really want them to have a robust experience here at KIPP. And so our eighth graders, we take them, we're actually taking them in June to LA, where they are going to be able to have an amazing experience out there, at Universal Studios. We're going to take them to, Santa Monica Pier, Warner Brothers Studios. And the goal really is not just to have a vacation, but really to teach them about different opportunities. We go to Warner Brothers Studios, where we teach them about other types of jobs, like sound engineering, light engineers. And so there's so many different things, so many different jobs that our kids don't know about because they're not exposed to. If they came from a Caribbean household like myself, it was doctor, lawyer, engineer, no other career exists. And so I want to make sure that they have an understanding that there's a wider spread of opportunities there. And so just really exposing them to this kind of stuff is important. And we first started getting kids on trips 10 years ago like this, where we're flying kids out. And every year it's a kid's first experience on a plane, which is an amazing thing. And we really push them to be, to really do more of this. We take them to Six Flags, and then we also finish off, not at any other prom venue. This is the Foundry. If you don't know about this, it's where people get married. Okay. And we believe in giving our kids at KIPP the best. And so this is our kids last year. And they had an amazing experience. And this is what we do here. And as I said, we really put all of our resources to ensure that our kids have the best experience possible here at KIPP. And so, this is really our spiel in terms of what we do. This is our operations team. If you have any questions around applications and so forth, please reach out to our operations team. And so we'll send this information out again to you all, and the application deadline if you have not applied already. And we want to just thank you all for coming. And I really want to open the floor to any questions that you may have, that you may have and you may not have heard of our, being in the elementary space. We not know a lot about what's going on in middle school. So we want to open up the floor. We have some of our team here. We also have a couple of our teachers, fifth grade teachers here. I see Miss Lodge and Mr. Noel, who are our math teachers. And so I want to make sure that you are able to ask any questions that you have so we can answer them. So families, the line is opened up. And Mr. Bravo, can you navigate that for us?
Yeah. Again, good afternoon, families. You could either put a reaction or raise your hand, and I'll go ahead and unmute you so that you can share the question with the session. Or if you're not sure how to, oh, there we go. So, are there any other regions offered other than math? And this is from Miss Adams.
Okay, so are there any other regents besides math that's offered? As of right now, we only offer math regents. We used to back in the day when I used to teach science, we had the science regents. We moved away from that, but right now we are focused in on ensuring that our students are accelerated in math. The data shows that students who are actively accelerated in math, they have a higher probability of going to college and excelling in college. And so we really want to make sure we get that track right, and to get our kids set up for our high school.
The next person we have is Melissa.
Ms. Dewsbury,
Yes.
you have a question? I'm gonna come off mute. Okay, let's jump to the next one until
McDonald
Put a
Powell.
question in the chat. Ms.
Oh,
Dewsbury
she put the question in the chat. Okay,
who do
perfect.
I contact about IEP?
So that's Miss Charles. So Miss Charles, she was here earlier today, but what you could do is just Mr. Bravo, can you put Miss Charles email within the chat, and we can get that information over. It's macharles@kippamp.org.
Gotcha. I'm gonna send it right now. Next person we had is McDonald Powell.
Okay, families.
Oh,
I said I'm coming come
Hello?
off mute. Yes,
Yeah, it wouldn't let me get off mute.
no problem.
School bus. Do they still get a school bus for the middle school?
Fifth grade is still considered a part of the busing system. So yes.
So it's only fifth grade.
Only fifth grade, because what happens is, it's not only fifth grade, but it is it's depending on certain services. If your child has an IEP, they're able to get busing services. If your child does not have an IEP, but they live within a certain a certain pool of kids who are actually take the bus, you're able to get on the bus as well. And so there's other parameters around that. Ms. Charles helps us navigate that, as well as our operations team. And so, you coming in fifth grade, it should not be a problem. Anything beyond that, the DOE does it's specific guidelines around that.
Yeah, the DOE
does
says
fifth grade-
the sixth graders still get school busing. If
Yes.
they're holler and above. Sixth graders too. That's why I was asking. I don't know if KIPP is different.
I can
Yeah.
clarify. Yeah,
Go ahead.
the fifth and sixth mom, they do get busing. Especially if they have an IEP already in fourth grade, it usually transfers over. But if you want to just ensure that it's transferring over, I put Miss Charles's email on here, and you can follow up directly. The next question was, hello, does fifth grade have an after-school program?
So currently, right now, fifth grade is this year is not a part of the after school program. We are working diligently to change that for next year. We're doing some change to our after school program, and we're trying to do a setup for fifth grade families. And so more information will come in August about that, but we will have an option for fifth grade families.
The next question is, when can we expect back from the summer boost? And then, Mr. Wilshire, can we also clarify to families that they did get an email from operations, but can we just clarify like what that actually
Yep.
means?
And so Summer Boost, the official application will be coming out in another week or two. What we've sent out to you all is a survey, an interest form survey. The reason for that is we want to make sure those folks who have, put out that interest form first get the first dibs on the seats. It's not unlimited. And so we're going to likely have around 50 to 60 kids that are going to be in our program for fifth grade, incoming fifth grade. And so we're going to likely have over 100 kids in fifth grade. And so it's not going to be a seat for every single person. That's why we're trying to get folks to put in that interest form so we get an understanding of how we're going to build a team of teachers to help support over the summer and make sure that the folks who put in their interest first get the first seats. And so look out for that official application in the next week or two. I believe McDonald Powell is raising her hand again.
Yep.
Yeah. When you apply, are you supposed to get something back in the email? Because I didn't receive anything, so I don't know if when they're doing acceptance
Absolutely.
and all that stuff.
Are you talking about summer boosts or are you talking about
No,
the,
I'm talking about for the regular school year.
okay, Mr. Bravo, you want to speak to that?
Y- Are you already in the fourth grade? If
Well,
you
I'm
are,
not. My daughter is.
I'm sorry. Is your daughter enrolled in the elementary school fourth grade currently?
Yeah.
Yeah, then so it'll just transfer over directly. There will be communication around updated documentations that we're gonna need, and the operations team is gonna email all families directly. Just as a heads up, we will later on in May give one more call to all of you just to double check that if you plan to send your child to our middle school, and then we'll just follow up with communication. But if she's in fourth grade and you are committed to sending her to the middle school, you should be all set.
Thanks.
No problem.
Hello, good afternoon. I had a disconnect. Can you quickly give me an idea what am I looking at on the screen? Something about monthly incentives? What is
Oh.
this?
Okay, I'm not sure when you jumped on or jumped off. This is a part of the meeting that we talked about positive school culture, in which our kids actually have, we give parent families communication through our paychecks of how your child is performing every single day. And then kids actually go on monthly trips. We take our kids on a trip every month. Based on their performance in class, their positive points that they get within the class. And so we have a trip every month, and it just goes over, we were just going over like what is our monthly, for instance, an example of our monthly incentives. And so I will answer any questions that you may have, but we went through a number of slides. And so let me just come to the end. But I was just going back because, somebody had chatted me a message asking me to go back to that.
And we
Okay, thank you. I probably may have to drop in or give you a call or something to
Not a
just
problem at
to
all.
catch anything that I might have missed. I appreciate it. Thank you.
and
And it's going to be
fam-
recorded as well. And
Yes.
so we'll send that out to you all so you can be able to see this again.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
No problem.
The entire session was recorded. I know that we had a slight tech issue in the beginning, so all of you guys will have the video accessible to you by this evening, just so you can reference back to it. Shameen, I'm sorry, Shameen Nurse.
Nurse?
Yeah. Good evening. I have two questions.
Yes.
My child in fourth grade, what time do the door open and what time the door close? And my next question is, what is the color shirt gonna be for the fifth grade?
Absolutely. So just to answer your question, the doors will open at 7:30 in the morning, and the doors will close at 7:45. At 7:45, students are expected to go around the front. They're considered late at that point because that's the start of homeroom. And the color shirt for fifth grade is going to be red.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions, families? Okay. If there's no other questions, can you put my number, Mr. Bravo? I'm going to put my number in the chat. And I want everyone, feel free to reach out to me. If you have any questions, I want to make sure that I'm available to you all. If you don't get me directly, please just text me and let me know, hey, I'm a fourth grade parent at the elementary school. And I am, just had a question. And so I'll get back to you guys, as soon as I can. But I really want to make sure that you all have an amazing experience here. I know that it can be anxiety filling for some of our parents as they transition, from elementary to middle school. And we want to just make sure that it's as smooth as possible. And so we're making ourselves available, to whether it's myself directly, our operations team, our deans, our teachers, our assistant principal, and we'll make ourselves available to ensure that your questions get answered and that you understand that we are here to make sure they have the best experience possible so we can push and motivate your kids as they get ready for high school. Okay? And so I really want to thank everyone here for coming on. This is the first step to your child's success here at KIPP Middle School, and look forward to really working with you all. All right? Thank you so much.
Principal Wilshire.
Yes, sir.
Miss Rodriguez, I believe, asked, when can they start purchasing shirts?
Yes. So I will say we'll have information on that a little bit later. Right now I'm thinking about changing vendors. We currently work with cookies, but I've been talking to families, just hearing from families asking for a different option. And so I may explore a different option coming into next year. And so we'll have, it's all about giving our families the cheapest option possible. That's really the goal here. And so for your, just to help you get an understanding also, Ms. Rodriguez, we give all of our students a free crew neck sweater at the start of the school year, as well as a free polo shirt, just to get them started. But we'll have that information in another month or so. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on. And as I said, look forward to meeting and working with you all. Take care.
Have a good night, everyone.